I'm so excited. This is quite literally my first webinar since 2020. So I'm a little bit overdue, and I thought, what a better time than actually doing it right before the end of financial year, when everyone's kind of trying to get a bit clearer on their goals and their visions and where to take things for the next 12 months. So if I look down, I take notes because I have a brain fart when I'm trying to think of too many things. So I thought I keep myself organized and keep some notes going for today. So a few of you have already heard this, but I speak very fast. So if you want to take notes, take notes. Any of you, if you want to copy the recording, just send us a DM afterwards and we'll send you the link. It'll just be a Dropbox link so you can watch back. If you can keep yourself as muted, just helps with background noise and things like that. And if you do need to say anything, there's a little raise hand feature somewhere. I think it's in more. You can raise your hand, maybe on the bottom, something like that, or just type in the chat box and I'll get to you as quick as I can. But I'm going to try and get through, I guess, as much of the content as I can first. And then I'm going to do a bit of Q&A at the end, but I'll invite you in to speak if you want to speak. Feel free to actually physically raise your hand too. That's fine. And thank you all for having all your names and everything noted on there too. So, yeah, I invite everyone to interact and ask questions and stuff at the end. And if you do want to, if something comes up for you, feel free to type it in the chat box. Simone, my assistant, is there taking notes and she's going to spit me the questions at the end in case I miss anybody to make sure I actually stay on track. So I'm going to basically keep this into 4 segments today. So actually choosing your goals or designing your goals and how we actually come to that, breaking it all down, creating the action steps, and then ways of staying motivated and being able to actually manifest those goals into life. So at the end of every segment, I'll give a little opportunity to come in if you want to come in. If you're happy to sit there and take notes, that's totally fine. But very safe space. Feel free to share. It's always really nice when we get people interacting and things like that too. So basically, when we think about what we're doing with goals, and I understand for a lot of you, it can be quite a cloudy thing, especially at the moment where the industry's done a flip. I think all of you here are hair and beauty industry, I hope. The industry's done a bit of a flip. The last month, I feel especially, clients are really tightening up. That cash rate's getting quite scary. So when we think about goals, first and foremost, it's really important to not let that ego take over and not have that, you don't deserve that, you're not worthy of that, that's not possible. We really need to push through that and kind of get that eagle eye focus on what it is that we actually want. So there's 2 ways that I like to describe having goals. Sorry, I'm just going to put this on silent. It's flashing away at me. Put it on sleep so no one can talk to me. So, and if you're one of my clients, you would have done this right at the very start of your coaching journey. But the first and foremost one is about my perfect day. And my perfect day is basically writing into life what your perfect day is. So I recommend if you're doing it this way, this is better for those short-term people, those people who really can't think more than 6 to 12 months in advance. I'm absolutely this person. The other one I've got coming up is one that is for those more longer-term people. So the first one is my perfect day. And what you want to do with my perfect day is choose basically 6 to 12 months time. So we'll go, cool, it's the 1st of January, 2024. Siobhan's having a bit of problems. Can you just text Siobhan, Simone, and just make sure she's right getting in? Oh no, I think we got her. Perfect. Seen her pop up a few times. So basically you want to get 6 to 12 months from today, but actually write it into life. And the key things when we're talking about a perfect day is, first of all, to write it in present tense. You do not want to write things like I will have, or, in like it's going to be in the future, because it will always be in the future. Today is the 1st of January, 2024, and I'm waking up in my 5-bedroom house with, a chef and a hot pool boy. I don't care what your goals are. It doesn't worry me at all. Whatever it is that sings to you and makes you feel good and gives you butterflies in the stomach, that's really exciting. That's what I want you to aim for. So the other thing that's quite hard to do when we think about a perfect day is it's really important that we start to feel into that. So the way we do that is by touching the 5 senses. And that can be really hard because what does it taste like? What does it smell like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? How does it look? Really, really important to touch on those 5 senses. And it might sound really ridiculous, but the more detailed you are and the more you're really feeling into that perfect day of what it is that you want, the better it's going to be. And probably another point here is, if you need to, separate your work day and your personal day. If you love working, that's fine. You probably want to have a work day. For a lot of us, we work long days when we actually commit to having work for the day. And for the rest of us, we don't want to work at all, and that's totally fine. I'm okay with that too. But if you need to, separating that work day and the perfect work day and the perfect personal day. So, And when we talk about this, it's good to talk about the relationships that we have. It's good to talk about, if I dart around, it's to let people into the thing. I couldn't co-host Simone, unfortunately, but it's really important to talk about people in your life, family in your life. Do you catch up with friends? What do you do with your day? What do you wake up? What do you eat in the morning? Like, what does your bed feel like? Is it a big king size bed or this big puffy bougie mattress, like Khloe Kardashian? Or is it, are you waking up with the smell of the beach and the sound of the waves? Like, let's talk about what your actual perfect day is. And for a lot of you, it won't be very different to what it is now. It might be a couple of small tweaks. You might not be working as much, or you might be working shorter days, or you might have a new salon or something like that. Really, really good ways to, write out your perfect day. This, for me, a bit of a personal share here. I did this in 2018. I was feeling really stagnant. Nothing in my life was changing. I'd been in my coaching business for about 12 months and things were going really well there. But in my personal life, I felt like it was up shit creek. And I realized that when I wrote my perfect day, it didn't include my husband at the time. I've got a new husband now. He's a bit of better human, but I realized that he wasn't in it. He wasn't a part of it. All the things that I wanted to do, he didn't fit into. And that was one of the reasons that it kind of prompted me to start working on that and changing that part of my life. And what do you know? All other parts of my life sort of came to fruition as well. And I know for a lot of my clients that happens, that they might realize that they want to change their business, or they want to add another one, or they want to have another child, or whatever it might be. So it's quite a powerful exercise if you really, really do it. So 6 to 12 months from today is ideal. Written in present tense, like you already have it, or you're experiencing it as it's happening, and always touching the 5 senses and separating your work and your personal days if you can, and including the people that are in your life on those days. Really, really important as well. So the next one is for those people who think more long-term. They're like end game, they're a bit longer. And these would be the people that are more 10-year, 5-year, 3-year, that sort of thing. So I call this the 5-3-1. I don't actually know what it's called. I don't know if I invented it or whether I learned it somewhere, who knows really. But this one, basically what we would do is we would start our goals in 5 years' time. So if we go off the 1st of July, what is it, 23, so it'll be 2028. So 1st of July, 2028. And it'll be a similar thing. Where it's, 5 years from today, it is the 1st of July, 2028, and I am, or I have. So really, really important, again, to keep that present tense. This is where a lot of people fuck up with their goals. They're always talking about, I will have $1 million, I will have a Maserati, I will have, and so in their brain, and how that's manifesting and how that's computing is that it will always be in the future because they don't actually have it. Thank you for my Maserati. Thank you for my Lamborghini, whatever it might be. So what we do is we start with 5 years and then we start working back from that. So if in 5 years we want to be turning over $5 million, in 3 years, we probably want our business turning over $3 million. Or if in 5 years we want to have 5 houses, probably to have that in 3 years, you probably need to have 2 or 3 houses. So we start working backwards from where we're at, because what will happen is when we think about our 5-year goals and we're going, I want the $5 million Broadbeach beach house, right? I want to be right in Palm Beach and Gold Coast. I want to be waterfront. And at the moment, that 5 to 10, probably $15 million house probably seems really out of reach. But when we break it down and it's like, okay, we've got 5 years to get to 15 million, right? So maybe in 3 years, we probably want to have 10 million. And then in, 1 year, we might want to have 2 million or something like that. And all of a sudden it's not as unreachable because we're breaking it right down into smaller segments. So we do 5 years, 3 years, 1 year. And then from there, we do 9 months, 6 months, 3 months. So we're bringing it right back. So if we're using an example here, let's go with cool. I want my business to be turning over $1 million a year annually. So how we would do that is we go 5 years from today. It is July 1st, 2028. We have just turned over, because it will be the new financial year. We've just turned over $5 million. I'm so stoked. I'm so happy. It's the best day ever, whatever. So then you want to write another one that would basically be the same text again. The day is the 1st of July, 2026. And we just turned over $3 million. Yeah. If you got any questions around this, feel free to pop in the chat box too, guys. So I like to think here too, if we're talking about, 2028, I'm 38 years old. This is what my life looks like. This is how I wake up. I have my chef cook my breakfast. I have my housekeeper come over and do my laundry and make my bed for me. All those little things and all those things that contribute to those business goals and those life goals. There is no detail that is too much, too little, include everything that you can. So, and yeah, so it's much like your perfect day, but just extended a little bit longer. And when we do look further for that 5 years, sometimes breaking it down, it just makes so much more sense and it makes it more and more achievable. So I'll stop there because we're kind of at the end of the first section. So does anyone have anything they want to like share about their goal? Does anyone want to like add anything in there? Does anyone have a question around that? Nah. Oh, that's good. Sorry if you can hear that really loud. I'm just folding my piece of paper. So, and look, probably working backwards there is really the perfect segue into my next section, which is breaking it down. So again, when we're looking at really big, scary goals, it's it can sometimes be overwhelming, and you're like, okay, cool, maybe you've got a business that's turning over $200,000 a year. Like, how the fuck will I ever get to $1 million? We can work on how we can actually break that down. So the first thing here is, with those goals that you've just written, breaking them into actual monetary goals. So if it's like, you've realized, okay, I need to do $1 million a year, that means that you need to turn over $20,000 a week or $80,000 a month, whatever that is. Let's work backwards from there. So if we want to do $20,000 a week, currently we're doing $10,000 a week. That's $10,000 extra that we need to make. How can we actually make that happen? Now, if you're looking at things like, okay, so well, mine's a time goal. How do I monetize that? What do you need to do to actually pay yourself to have that time off? So, for example, if you're like, great, I'm working 6 days a week at the moment, I really just want to cut down to 5 days a week or even 4 days a week, that's fine. What do you need to do to enable yourself to have that additional income to be able to pay for your day off? So that might look like $500 for some of you, that might look like $2,000 for some of you, whatever that might be. And it's about, let's working out now how we can break that down into an achievable or an attainable goal. So I've written a couple of things here. So let's say we want to achieve an extra $2,000 a week. That's going to provide that for us to be able to hit our perfect day or to hit our goals. So if your average client in your business, if you don't know what this is, what your average client or your average customer is, you need to dive a little bit deeper into your reports and all these amazing things that our point of sale systems do. So if your average client is $200, you only need 10 clients a week and you've made an extra $2,000. The other thing is, if you see 25 clients a week, you don't really know how you could fit in an extra 10 clients. All you need to do is upgrade each of those clients by $80. So how can you do that? Is it products? Is it services? $80 per client all of a sudden doesn't really seem that much. Or do you need to have an extra staff member to be able to facilitate that, to be able to get you to that goal? And then we would obviously include their wage and then that goal as well, and how we can break that down. Is that making sense to people? I'm seeing lots of nodding and writing. This is probably a good sign. The next thing is, and this is one, I'm just going to use a couple of ones that I hear really commonly because I think these are really important, is save $50,000 for a house deposit in the next financial year. I think that's a pretty common one for people, or $25,000 or $20,000 or whatever that might be. So when we think about that, $50,000 a year is only an extra $1,000 a week, right? It's actually not that much money. And when we think about that, if you do need to include your GST and income tax on that, you can add that in. That's fine. So it might be looking like $1,300 a week or something like that. But first and foremost, what costs can you cut out? How can you actually get that to be more achievable in your business? Are you spending money on stupid things you don't need? Do you have weird memberships and weird, things going on that you're not utilizing or that aren't monetary for you? Just today, my last client today was spending $300 a week on a girl that was doing 3 Instagram posts and 3 stories for her a week for $300 fucking dollars. Are you kidding me? That I would pay Simone to do that in 1 hour of her working week. So when we as hairdressers and as beauty therapists, we can become quite emotional and we can get quite attached to people. And sometimes I recommend that you actually go through your costings and have a look at this and put in your business brain and put in your, your logical man brain. And actually, is this beneficial for my business? Am I getting a return on my investment? So an extra $1,000 a week, or probably a lot of you could cut out of your selling costs very easily. Very easily. You could be a little bit more frugal with your color. You could maybe order a slightly cheaper coffee, whatever it might be. You could change electricity companies, look at bargaining down your phone bill, all those sorts of things. So first and foremost, I always look at ways that you can cut that out of your spending. The other thing that you could do is, again, working backwards technique. So $1,000 a week. My average client spends $250 a week. That's only 4 clients I have to squish in. I can do that. It's getting me towards my house. So if you work 5 days a week, it's $200 a day, which is 1 extra client a day, really. Or if you see 5 clients, you can upgrade them by $40 each per day. So that's even an easier one. $40 each is, you know, a good, really good treatment, you know, an extra beauty service, something quite simple when they're already in your chair, already in your beauty bed. And my other favorite one that I hear all the time is I really want a housekeeper, but I can't afford one. Housekeepers are about $120 a week, which is probably the average price of a haircut nowadays. Realistically, it's a brow or lash service. One person could get you a housekeeper every week. So, you know, a lot of the time people think it's maybe more difficult, or they overthink what the actual cost of something is. And when we work through and we break it down and we're, you know, reverse engineering that and how we can make that happen in our business, all of a sudden it's not so unachievable. So does anyone have anything they're a bit stuck on how to break down, or anything they want to add in? Siobhan says, my cleaner is literally my favorite person in the world. Girl, same. Mine even offered to cook for me the other day. God love her. Is anyone else want to say anything there? Anything to tack on and add in? Nah, so quiet. I love it. So the next thing here is realistically creating the action steps, because it's one thing to go, yeah, cool, I've got a goal. Yep, cool, I need to see 5 clients or something. But they overthink it and they don't actually put the action steps into place. And maybe they lose a bit of motivation. It's like those people, probably like me, I renovated 80% of my apartment and the other bathroom's just been like, I'm done. Like, I've tapped out, I've run out of motivation, I'm done. So it's the same with when you're working towards your goals. Sometimes you get overwhelmed. Sometimes other out of control things happen, i.e. cash rates, things like that. You know, Rona, those sorts of things, not that we manifest that happening again, but there can be other things that happen that are out of our control and can be really demotivating and really, really disappointing. So we need to work out specifically how we can create that additional income in your business, right? So this is something that we don't get creative with and we don't think about. Something that we did in our salon, which was the absolute game changer for our hairdressing salon, was we called them sugar toners. They were the same as any other toner, but we just made a range of a few colors and we just charged a ridiculous price for them. So we charged $150 for them instead of $50, I think our toners were at the time. We had a high blonde clientele. We had a high creative color clientele. And basically when our clients were in, we would talk to them about, you know, do you want to add like a bit of a pink tone or a mauvey tone or, you know, more of an ashy bluey tone or a silver or something like that. And we called them sugar toners. We just got really creative. And that was one of our top selling products. So you've got clients that are coming in for a blow dry or just, you know, a bit of a touch up, couple of foils in the front, something like that. Get creative with your team about what your clients would actually like. Another thing we did, we had these unbelievable Kevin Murphy elixir treatment things sitting in our cabinet that we didn't even know that we had. They were like in the back storage room, up the back, whatever. And we got them out and we started charging for them as well and actually selling them to clients. And from there, we actually kept reordering them because they came a really top selling service. So I urge you to try and think about other things that you can do while your clients are in the chair. Same as if you've got your beauty clients or your beauty girls, they're in there getting their lashes done. You know, why aren't you offering to see if you can do their brows while they're literally lying there getting their lashes done anyway, and they're going to be lying there for 45 minutes or an hour or however long you take with them? Think about the opportunities with your clients and things that they would like and ways that you can do that. Another great thing, or another way that we can do this, is also adding on products. So products of the month, super old school, works a treat. If you're coming into September and you know your clients are starting to go blonde, let's start focusing and promoting on your blonde clients. A lot of people don't know that you can get heat protectors, you can get gloss sprays, you can get anti-humidity sprays, you can get all these things. Freaking Queensland, anti-humidity products will be the best thing ever. Look at this. I just blow dried this, and the only reason it looks smooth is because my background's blurred. So, you know, think about who your clients are, what they want, what they need, what their lifestyle looks like, and how you can help them to actually achieve those things. And, you know, the difference is if you see 100 clients a week in your salon, you add on $50, it's $5,000, right? Not that hard to do. So adding on services, adding on products, great ways to increase your revenue or to, you know, create additional income and options for your clients. And also, the more excited you keep your clients, the more excited they are when they come in and the more likely they are to come back. If your clients get bored of you, they're going to the salon down the road that's going to offer them something exciting. Yeah. So another big one here is reduce your costs. I know it's scary, changing brands, changing products, changing, you know, things around in your business, but there's no reason, you know, that people you can't train your staff in something new. If you're paying $20, $30 for a tube of color, that is fucking ridiculous. Look for something cheaper. If you're buying skincare products that are absolutely out of range for your clients to buy because that's not your demographic and that's not who your clients are. We had a lot of students. We had a lot of like early 30s people. Our clients were extremely young. Our students, a lot of them could not afford our Orbeys and our Aranco's and our really beautiful luxury products. But then we also had another tier of clients that were those, you know, with, for lack of a better term, sorry, like not older people, but, you know, mum age people who were happy to spend $80 on a hairspray. They were happy to do that. So we made sure that we met both of those demographics. You've really got to get deep and understand and know your clients. And that way it's really easy to bring in things that work for them that you know are going to sell. And if you need to, go back to an old school survey. You can text them out to your clients nowadays. It's super, super easy. Guys, we really want to review and make sure you're happy. Tell us what you'd love to see. Do you have any questions? Is there things we're not doing? You know, where can we level up? Like, ask the questions. They can provide you the most absolute gold nuggets of information that you perhaps overlook, or even just while they're sitting in your chair. You get all this time with them. Like, ask them while they're sitting in your chair, you know, you've been coming here a long time. Why do you keep coming back? What do you want to see more of? What do you think I could do better? Don't be afraid to ask for the feedback. That stuff's golden. Now, another thing, and this is something I've been working with lots of my clients on, is productive bookings and productive time. So you know, if you're running in 45-minute appointments and you open at 9 o'clock, why are you booking people in at 9:15 or 9:30? Book them at 9:45 or 9 o'clock. You know, make sure that you're leaving enough time to keep those bookings in. Now, if you are like my beautiful client, Casey from Bendigo, who her haircuts, they're not 45 minutes, they're probably 40 minutes. Taking that 5 minutes off and changing your calendar to run in 10-minute appointments opposed to 15-minute appointments is a game changer. If you take 5 minutes off 10 clients, that is 50 minutes you're saving, and that is a whole extra service. So her half heads of foils are 50 minutes, her haircuts are 40 or 50 or 60 minutes. So we have 3 different tiered haircut lengths, and full heads of foils were either 60, 70 or 80 minutes. So that ability to, instead of having 60 and 75, when really we only take 70, has saved extra money. So think about that. This was something we changed in our barbershop in very early days. I obviously opened only with one barber, and she's like, to be honest, I'm probably smashing out a lot of our like weekly and 2 weekly haircuts in 20 minutes. I'd love to have a 20-minute haircut price. 15 minutes is too short, doesn't really give me enough time with them. 20 minutes was enough. 30 minutes was our most common haircut. 40 minutes was our fades and our other length haircuts. So we changed it, and it enabled us to fit in so many more clients throughout the day, because then they're not standing around doing nothing between clients, especially if you have the luxury of apprentices or trainees or front of house staff that can help you with that stuff. So it's a really, really great way to create a little bit of additional income in your business. And these are some of the things that people, I guess, leave as an oversight. But these are the things, these small tweaks are the most powerful things that will make the biggest impact to your income and to your goals. So another thing is, how can you create more time? Because while we all do want more money, we all also want more time. And time is far more valuable than money. It is the only thing you can never, ever get back. Once it's gone, gone ski. Yeah. So something that people forget is that if you have staff, you can delegate to them and you can get them to do so many things. So I used to get my staff to do my grocery shopping if they had a couple of hours free. I used to get them to go like clean out and do big jobs. I would move my clients over with them so that I could go and do something else. Like, your staff are there, they're being paid. Obviously, you don't want to be mean to them or get them to do horrible things, but why the fuck are you spending 2 hours doing stock take when you're the busiest person in that business? 9 times out of 10, the owner is the most in demand, the most booked out, you know, the one that everyone wants to see, because when you're the owner, I guess you're the face of the business. So start moving over some of those tasks to your staff. If you've got things that cause you pain, they're just horrible, you don't like doing it, don't do it. And with that, can you hire people to do some of those jobs that you hate doing? Exactly like the example that we used before of our cleaner, like trying to find a housekeeper. Same thing with the bookkeeper. I would rather have a bookkeeper and someone do all my bookkeeping and my pays. I have Loz in my business that does all that. I would rather pay her and take on an extra couple of clients, because the clients make me happy, the bookkeeping does not. And I also fuck it up all the time. Yeah. And it's the same with even like the follow-up of my clients and things like that. Simone's organized. I'm hideously disorganized. So she's better at that. So I'd rather have her do that, less mistakes, less human error. That takes it off my hands. And something else I think that is a really big oversight that gives us, that takes away our time or exhausts us is asking our partners, asking our parents, asking our children, and asking our friends for help. If you are overwhelmed and you need help and you reach out to people, they will likely help you. It may not be ongoing, it may not be long term, it may just be a one-off thing. But people can be really helpful. If you level with them, be like, I'm extremely overwhelmed. I was wondering if there was any way you could do X, Y, Z for me. Bloody hell, outsource it. I have a girlfriend, freak, her name's Kim, loves doing laundry. So every time I go in a hospital to have surgery, she'll come and do my laundry for me because she knows that's going to overwhelm me when I get home, and it's not something you can do, is really lifting heavy baskets and stuff when it's your endo surgeries. So don't use that as an oversight. And if you are in any sort of relationship, you have a significant other in your family, the household adult stuff is joint. It is a joint thing, especially for all you guys who are business owners. And I'm sure that if you have significant others, they are either working or owning a business as well. Once you guys get home at the end of the day, it's not for one person. As women, we tend to naturally take on, the bulk of the household tasks, not to generalize everybody, but we tend to. Tell him to get off his ass and help you, or her off her ass and help you, whoever you're with, I don't mind. But ask for help. Yeah. Pam knew that I was extremely overwhelmed last week. I had an extremely big working week last week, lots of clients in. I just asked him to do a couple of things that I normally do, and it eased the stress off me so much just to get him to help me with those few extra things on top of what he does in our household. So just don't be afraid to reach out and ask for help, and work out what you can delegate and how you can make that happen monetarily by taking on an extra client or two, or cutting out your costs, or however you want to make that happen. And another thing that I think is probably the most important thing when we talk about what it is that's stopping us from achieving our goals. So is it yourself? Is it your family? Is it your family legacies, your money stories, that sort of thing that's still plaguing you? Is it ex-husbands, ex-boyfriends, anything like that that's still stuck in the back of your head? High school bullying? Is it shit staff? Is it a shit partner? We also have a lot of very weird childhood beliefs. All of our beliefs and legacies are built into us by the time we're 9 years old. So the parents are probably going, oh my God, I hope I don't fuck the children up. There's always a good message in what our parents tried to teach us, or the people who raised us tried to teach us. But all your money stories and your legacies and your relationship to money is developed by the time you are 9 years old. So it happens in your first 8 years. Kids are like sponges. They pick up on things subconsciously. I'll give you an example of this. So my parents owned a motor mechanics. I was born in the 90s. Everything was cash, right? And talk about a trigger. Our mother still has the same coffee table. And me and my sister used to sit on one side of the coffee table, and mum and dad used to sit on the other side of the coffee table, and they would count all the cash on a Friday at the end of the week. And they were teaching us to count money. And then what that would happen is mum would go, cool, that's for that bill, that's for the mortgage, that's for the credit card, that's for this, that's for that. Money doesn't grow on trees. You've always got to put away all your money. So in my brain, as a child who didn't have the capacity to actually understand what they were trying to teach me, which is to live within your means, to always save money, to always pay, your commitments and your debts and stuff first. Great message. As a child, I'm going, oh my God, money doesn't grow on trees. There's never enough money. We had secondhand carpet when we grew up. We grew up in a commission area. We didn't have money. So my whole life I went through until I, did some work on this when I was older, thinking that I never had enough money. So I could never save. I could never get ahead. I could never have enough money to pay my bills. And it took a lot of work to actually break through that. So if you haven't worked on that stuff, I urge you to explore it and really think about what your earliest memory of money is. I'm grateful to them because I am a great saver, and, both my sister and I have houses and assets and savings and things like that. I'm a good business person, all of that. But the subconscious message in that to a child was completely different to the message they were trying to teach us. So think about those. Another big thing is your ego. And I know that a lot of you are probably going, oh my God, no, I don't have an ego. I'm not an egotistical person. Your ego is that devil on your shoulder that's like, you can't have that. You don't deserve that. No one in your family's ever done that. You grew up in a small town. You can't drive a BMW. You can't travel around Europe first class. It's that thing in your back of your head, all those beliefs and all those fears and all those things coming up that plague you and plague your growth. So that's a really, really big one to work through as well, is that, and to not listen to your ego, or to recognize when it is your ego and it's not your reality. So, and the other thing probably to note is, a bit of a block thing is, do you have a physical block? Is your business too physically small to take on those extra clients or to take on those extra staff members? Do you have lack of clients? You know, is it a mining town where people kind of come and go and you really don't have those ongoing clients? Like, what is the actual physical block around that too? So a lot are emotional. I would say majority of the reason we don't hit our goals is because they are emotional. But a lot of them can be physical as well. You can't sit there and go, well, I want to have a salon with five stylists and you've only got 3 chairs. It's not going to work unless you're open 24/7. Not practical, right? No one's going to come and get their hair done at 2 a.m. If they do, they're a bit weird, but that's okay. So something I usually do, I'll see if I've got a notebook. I probably don't have a notebook now, but if you've got a notebook and it's double-sided, a really good way to actually work through this is to, on the left-hand page, all the fears, all the stories, all the beliefs, all the things that are not serving you, everything. And then on the right side, going through and writing reworded all the new affirmations and all the new things that you actually believe and all the things that are going to become true for you. Again, in present or past tense. So thank you for my Lamborghini. Thank you for my $10,000 week. Thank you for my beautiful hot new staff member who's just the best person ever. You know, writing those. And then look, if you're really freaky and spiritual like I am, I'm a little bit woo-woo as well. Burn it, freeze it, rip it to shreds, that page without the stuff that you're letting go of. Yeah. Does anyone have anything they want to add in there? Anything they want to say? Just going to go through a couple of these questions here on the right. And yeah, Simone's written in here too. Sometimes a pep talk or a pep video is what everybody needs. So if you've got a business where you physically work in with your staff, go through, have a morning huddle with them. It is the best 5 minutes or 10 minutes of pay that you'll actually spend. This is something we did every day in our salons, and we did it twice a week in our barbershop. So actually have a pep talk with your staff. Let's look at the possible appointment glitches or things that might go wrong today. Let's look at the opportunities for upgrading. What went well yesterday? What could we improve on? Is there anything we're focusing on today? Do we have a new product, new service, new something? Does everyone need new client cards? Like all of those things. Spend that time in the morning giving them a bit of a huddle. And if they need a bit of an afternoon kick up the butt, do that too. Jordan is one of my clients and she has just introduced memberships, which is very exciting. And she's like, I literally just made a sale from a new client who's just signed up. Memberships is a really amazing way to adapt to the financial climate and people's, I guess, way that they live in terms of their money. Everyone lives in credit, in pay in fours, in those sorts of things. Obviously, your pay in fours are stinging you like, 6 or 7% or something. We've got Hum, I think it's 7.5%. It's crazy amount of money to take off small businesses. So having memberships is a way where they pay weekly or fortnightly or monthly in line with their pay is a really great way of helping your clients actually be able to, afford your services and be able to keep coming back. Simone, Zane spent 9 minutes folding the washing before he went to work the other day and it changed my day. One less thing to have to think about. And Kate, you a heart girl. Yeah, literally. So anything else that anybody else wants to add in there? Nah. Sweet. Cool. So the last segment or the section, I know there's a couple of you who've just come on board. I'm so sorry it was 7 o'clock, not 7:30, but that's okay. I'm sure you were flat out. We're going to send you the replay afterwards as well, guys. So the next part is the finding the driver, finding the motivation and how we stay motivated with working towards and achieving our goals. And like, believe me, I'm not on all the time. I might seem like it on social media, but I'm not. And I know a lot of my clients go through the ebbs and flows and the bipolar of business as well. So does my husband, so do my friends. It's not normal to be on 110% of the time. And the first and foremost thing I want to start with on that is we have to stop this self-flagellating thing when we have an off day or we don't get something done or we can't attack the whole task list or something just gets pushed to the wayside. Don't fucking worry about it. Don't punish yourself because you missed something that day. Just have the strength to get up the next day and give it a crack the next day, right? I'm careful with what I eat, and I've had a couple of fitness and food goals in mind. And the other day I just had a junk day. I just had to have a junk day. I got up, I pretty much ate candy for breakfast, and I felt great at the end of the day. Felt like shit the next day. But we have to stop punishing ourselves for not getting things done. And it's much better for us and much healthier to be adaptable. Just go with it. Sometimes you get, client's hair doesn't go to plan or someone's late and it throws your day out. I had that happen today where a client meeting ran 45 minutes overtime. It just happens sometimes, So let's be adaptable and let's not punish ourselves and let's, attack it and again the next day. So And with that, probably, if there is a to-do list of things that you're finding it's really overwhelming, if they're under 5 minutes and they're not necessarily, just get rid of them completely. If they don't need to be done, doesn't matter, or give it to someone else. But don't punish yourself if you had plans of recording something or creating something or doing a dolly head or fucking, putting some content out or whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. If you didn't get to it that day, no one's going to die. And we're allowed to have off days. So going back to finding the driver, finding the motivation, what is the why? What is the genuine reason behind you wanting the Gucci handbag or the $10,000 a week? So your money needs a purpose and your goals need a purpose. They need to have something attached to it. Money is energy. It always needs to be moving and it needs to have a goal attached to it. Otherwise, there's no point. Yeah. So what does it mean to you? And this is, a conversation I had once. It's a pretty rare occurrence, but one of my ex-clients was trying to attain things and dress a certain way, and it was for other people. It wasn't for her. I am a girl who owns lots of designer bags and shoes. Total shoe girl, total bag girl. I don't do it for anyone else. I've got 20 of them. They sit in my wardrobe for majority of the time. I do it for myself because I love it and it feels good and it's a good reward to me. It's not about anybody else. So if you're buying the BMW because someone got a BMW and you want to make them jealous, or you want to look cool in your town or whatever, like it's not a genuine reason, and it probably will hurt you. It probably have the reverse effect. So finding goals that mean something to you, that do something to you, that make you feel really good, that there's, there's a love and a reason behind it. By all means, if you want to buy a BMW because you just want to look hot driving it, that's fine. Don't care. But try not to do things for other people. Try to do things for yourself. The only other people you should be doing things for is your kids, your family and your loved ones, the people that are actually affected by that. So my point here was, what does it mean to you? And what does it mean to your family is the next point I have here. What's it going to do for your kids? What's it going to do for your significant other? What's it going to do for your lives? And with that, what does it mean for your staff and business if you have staff, or for your business? What will having X do for that business? You might be doing $10,000 a week. That might mean you can finally attack that tax debt. You can finally start to invest in some new things for your staff, some new training, some new chairs, some new equipment for your clients, some new cool technology that you've been wanting to buy. So have a reason behind why it is that you actually want that goal thing. I say a thing, it doesn't have to be a physical thing, but just for example. So why do you need it? Why do you want it? What does it mean to you? How will it make you feel? Because I can tell you, I can picture myself sitting on that big bougie black beach house right up in Sunshine Beach, which is one of the hardest pockets of land to buy, but I can smell that ocean air when I wake up in the morning. Let me tell you, my girlfriend Lila, who runs the Woman in Front events, you might have seen me speak at, she was like, I was driving my shitty, I think it was like an XL or a Corolla or something like that. No offense to anyone who has one. Hers was like beat up old trash. She's like, mate, every morning I got in that car, I felt the leather steering wheel, I smelt that BMW, I had that new car smell. And she's like, I didn't have 2 cents to rub together, but you can bet I got that car. That's what it felt like to me. And this is why it's really important to have those senses ignited when we talk about our goals. And it's the biggest oversight that so many people make. So how will having this goal change your life? How will it change your business? How will it affect you? Yeah. So any questions around that so far? Yeah. Sweet. The next part is manifesting, because we can't just manifest a $10 million lottery ticket falling into our life. We actually have to go to Tattersalls and buy it. You can't just manifest things happening. You have to actually take action steps around that. So when we talk about manifesting, there's a whole heap of different things you can do, and it really just depends on, what it is that works for you, or what sits best with you, or what, gets you going. So I love a vision board, bloody love a vision board. My staff love a vision board. We love a vision board, love being able to see it in front of you. So vision boards can be on your phone, on your iPad, on your computer, if you work at a computer all day, inside your work locker, on your car dashboard. Probably don't want to read it while you're driving, but if you need to get in your car and actually see it sitting there because you do a lot of driving, love that. A physical board in your office, in your bedroom. Bathroom mirrors is a great one. Having pictures, having goals written. One of my ex-staff, Loz, who now owns my old salon, used to just write and text it on her mirror all the things that she was going to work for, and it was a daily reminder of why she was going to work and why she was doing all the things she was doing for her family. Another thing is meditating or journaling. And again, when we meditate, when we're tapping into that, guided meditations really help with this. If you're a person who doesn't focus, there's heaps of them floating around on YouTube and stuff like that. But in terms of meditation, actually an NLP trick is when you're looking down and left, that means you're remembering, whereas when you're looking up and right, you're creating. So if people are lying, their eyes usually darting up and around looking up, whereas when you're looking down and to the left, you're remembering. So if you are meditating and you're trying to imagine something happening, and this is something I do before I get on stage, because if you've watched me on stage, I get so effing anxious before I get on stage. I was anxious before I came in here. So something I do is I'll take 5 minutes and I'll sit there and I'll close my eyes and I'll roll my eyes down and to the left. And then I'll be visualizing all the things that are happening. I'm visualizing all those people that are coming to me after I've done a live chat, buying my courses and doing all the things. And I'm visualizing all these things that are going to happen and how well I'm going to do on stage, and people laughing at my jokes and actually cheering for me, because it's very daunting. So it's the same thing when you're thinking about your goals, when you're picturing yourself getting in that beautiful car, or when you're walking into that beautiful new salon, like you're picturing it like it's already happened. So you're tricking the brain into thinking that it's already happened. And same if you're journaling. A great way to do this, and actually this is a bit of a like to biohack your sleep and your dreams as well. So whatever you think about right before you go to bed is usually what will keep going through your brain all through the night, whether it comes up in some sort of dream like you're being chased or something like that. And look, sometimes this is unavoidable. There's heat and other things that contribute to what we actually dream about. But if you can spend the last 5 minutes before you go to bed journaling about the things that you want and the things that you're working towards and how grateful you are for your day and all of those things, you will trick your brain into thinking about all the things that you want and manifesting it through your sleep. So there's a lot of stuff on this with Tony Robbins and people like that, where they literally, before they go to bed and before they shut their eyes and when they're winding their body down, so you can usually be like, relax your head, relax your shoulders, relax your arms, relax your hands, things like that. And by the time they get to their feet, they're usually asleep. But right before that, they're thinking about all the things in their life that they want, and they're trying to biohack their sleep. So that's a pretty cool thing to try out if you're a bit of a, like sometimes my brain's going till all hours of the night. So that's a really good way to try and turn yourself off. And again, even if you need a guided meditation to go to sleep, there's this cool app actually called Calm. And there's lots of athletes and stuff on there talking about like a winner's mindset and things like that. If that's something that'll put you to sleep, go listen to that. Game changer. And with journaling and stuff, obviously a lot of you guys, actually I should go back on this with journaling. If you read my journals, you'd think I was Jats crackers. I don't do them all the time, but I do get in phases where I'm like, nope, I really need to journal this out. Sometimes it's like a half brained up, but I'll be halfway through a sentence and then I'll change to something else, and it'll be like, get whatever it is out of my brain, but write about what I want. And like, it can really chop and change. It doesn't actually have to make sense. You don't have to write it correctly spelt and grammatically correct and all the things. You just need to write it and you need to get it out. You need to put it on paper. So that's probably something with that. The next point I had written here is affirmation. So again, thank you for my Lamborghini. Thank you for my $10,000 a week. Thank you for my beautiful new staff member. Thank you for my 25 clients that I see every week. You know, all of those things are really, really powerful. I am hot. I am fit. I am skinny as fuck. Whatever sinks into your brain, whatever makes you feel good, whatever motivates you. I am a morning person. Whatever motivates you to get up and get things done and be happy and feel good. Affirmations are a really good one. Great place is the bathroom mirror, having it on your phone background, things that you actually look at. And a trick with that, actually, if you are using, I wonder if I've actually got mine. A good thing, it's gone. With your phone backgrounds and stuff is every once in a while actually change the color or change the font or change something. So the reason for that is, I'll give you an example. You know, if you've like got an artwork in your house, right? And let's say that artwork falls off the wall, and then every time you walk past, you're like, oh, there's like a big white wall, like it hits you in the face because subconsciously and unconsciously, you always knew that photo was there. And then all of a sudden it's gone. Now you like really notice it and you're like, oh shit. So the same thing happens with your goals. You do want it to be unconscious as well, but you also want it to be conscious. So if you just, if you have one day you have a green background and then, a couple of weeks later you change it to a pink one, all of a sudden you go to open your phone and it looks totally different and it's a different color and it's like triggering you to think about it again. So the next one here is believe that you already have it. So this is something that I live my life by. I could not afford the house that we are building, but I bought it anyway because I trusted that the money shows up. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you to go and buy a really expensive thing or invest in something or, whatever it might be. But for me, I am a creator and I believe that everything that I want and everything that I'm going to have is already on the way to me. So you have to have, and you have to learn to trust. You have to believe that everything that you want is there. It's already on its pathway. You're already on the way there. So you've got to believe that it's coming to you. And this is something that's very, very, very hard to learn to do. For years and years and years, I didn't do it. But now I just know anything I want, I'm going to have it. In one way or another, I'm going to get it. You know, this is something that Gary Vee, if you want to follow him, talks about a lot. He's like, he owns a private jet. He said, I want to own, I think he was own a baseball team or something like that. And he's like, I'll have it. He's like, I'm getting there. Like, I have enough to buy it. So like, you know, these are the people that have always believed that they will have the things that they want in their life. And so with that, the next point I had written down was, can you live your life like you already had it? So this looks slightly different for different people. But when I say that, you might want to drive down that street that you want to live in your way home from work. Or you might want to go past the coffee shop that's close to there that you know that's where you're going to be buying your morning coffee one day, if we're going to the example of a house. So start thinking about ways that you can live your life like you already have it. Like if you're like, you know what, I associate being a rich girl with a certain way of dressing. Can you dress that way all the time? Can you get up and put yourself together? I know for myself, if I put myself together and I wear a nice outfit, look good, feel good, that works for me, right? It doesn't mean you have to go and buy Balenciaga jumpers and Gucci shoes and all the things. But it means if you can wear something that you like, you know that you feel great in it, wear more of it. If you wear this great lipstick or you style your hair a certain way that just makes you feel powerful and hot, go ahead and try and do that as much as you can, because the more you feel in your power and performance ready and at the top of your game, the more you will achieve and the more you will do. So that's a really, really powerful thing as well, is, you know, making sure that you're feeling good and you're giving yourself that pep talk in the car on the way to work. You know, if I have discovery sessions in before I take people in as clients, I prep myself and I tell myself I'm converting them. They're going to go and do this. I'm going to sign them up to this. And I'm like prepping myself and I'm telling myself that I'm going to win that sale. Yeah. So the last sort of section I've just got to talk about here is just a little bit about the process. And that is something that I have been extremely mindful of this year. It was one of my new financial year goals, was to be more mindful and to actually sit in what I create and sit in the things that I've achieved. And when I say achieved, you could normally, you know, let's say you do normally $800 a day. If you do 820 one day, fucking sit there and enjoy that. Look at that FBOSS at the end of the day, go, I did that. Like, pat on the back, you know, personal high five. Whatever is actually taking that on board and like really feeling into what you've created and what you've done and not skipping over all those little things, because it's all those little things that equate to the big things at the end of it. So enjoy the process of achieving. And this is where, again, sorry for those guys of you who missed the very start, when we're looking at those 5-year, 3-year, 1-year, 9-month, 6-month, 3-month goals, this is where it's like, oh my God, I've already achieved those 3 months goals. It's time to reset everything else. You know, and like really being like, oh my God, I never thought I did that. One of the biggest things I do with so many of my clients, I'm like, have you actually looked at your last 12 weeks and how much your business has grown? You've gone from seeing 20 clients to seeing 28 clients. Or you see the same amount of clients, but your average client spend is up by $30 or $40. That's huge. We forget to actually take those things in and just really appreciate how awesome we are. So with that, I think it's really important to actually celebrate all your little wins. And I actually think it's really important to reward yourself for the things that you're doing. Yeah. So you might set a goal of, you know, that's actually probably a good thing. Let's say you're saving money. Let's go with the house deposit thing. We spoke about that earlier. So if you're going, cool, I want to save $50,000, that's what I need for a house deposit as an example. Why don't you, every time you get to 10 grand, go and take $500 out and spend it on yourself? Or why don't you go and do something for yourself, like go and have a spa day, or go and actually give you something that makes you feel really good. If you work to the strictest budget or the strictest diet or the strictest whatever, you'll usually come unstuck and binge in some way, whether it's a binge shop, a binge eat, a binge drink, a binge whatever. So it's really good, rather than just going and spending or, you know, whatever, actually setting goals for yourself like you would with your staff. If you hit $3,000 this week, I'm going to give you $50. You might do it every $1,000. Every $1,000, I'm going to take $50 back for myself and put it in my fun money account. I have an ING bank account. It's called Fun Money. It's what I get to spend on my fun stuff. Yeah. So reward yourself for all the little increments that are getting you along the way. It might be for you that you pay $2,000 off a tax debt. It might be that you pay off a credit card. It might be that you I've managed to pay your phone bill on time every month for the last 5 months. Like, it doesn't have to be a monetary thing. It doesn't have to be something. It might be that you got up and went for a walk every morning and that made you feel good. So you're going to reward yourself with a bloody donut on the way home. I don't care, right? Anything that makes you feel good and makes you go, fuck yeah, I did that. I appreciate myself and I actually work for that is really, really, really powerful. And the very lucky last point I have here, hey friend popping in the background up there, is to be genuinely grateful and genuinely thankful and genuinely appreciative of not only yourself, but the things that are coming your way. We often forget as business owners, as parents, as wives, because there's no boys here, as partners, to just really be grateful and thankful for the things that we've achieved and the things that we're doing. We get up every day, we go to work, we turn it on for our clients and our customers, and we do the things. We run households, we run families, we do all the things. Stop and actually appreciate what you do. Be grateful for the roof over your head, be grateful for tap water, be grateful for all the things that we have, because those are sometimes the littlest oversights, and those things can be really, really good. So in my coaching group, we celebrate Thankful Thursday. And then on the alternate week, we do Win Wednesday. So we like to celebrate little wins. And I don't fucking care what the win is. It can be big or small. It can be whatever you want. And same with Thankful Thursday. I make my clients tell me 3 things that they're grateful for that day. And if you're having a shit day, it's more important than ever to find the win or to find the gratitude. You have to find something. I am grateful today for the warm weather, seeing all you little freezing cold people down in Vic. All the things. So I'm going to open it up to questions. If anybody has any questions they want to ask, any comments they want to make, anything at all, anything they want me to expand on, I invite you to open up into the chat box. Raise your hand if you want to say anything at all. Quiet crowd tonight. I'll give it a couple of minutes before I close this one off. Nothing? No one? Jordan, you normally chime in. Mel's usually pretty active as well. Does anyone want to share any of the goals or anything that they're working towards at the moment? Nah. Sweet. All right. Fun huddle ideas. Cool. Love it. So, Jenna, I'm just going to unmute you. I think you're actually self-muted. So we can just have a bit of a quick chat about this. Should be on the bottom left. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing?
How are you?
Great.
Good. Do you have huddles at the moment?
Yeah, we do. They're a little, alternative breathing goal for the day kind of thing. And we do it because we do it every day.
Yep.
I'm wondering if there's some way I can like freshen it up and liven it up so we're not always saying the same things every day.
Yeah, something that's really valuable, and it's, something, if any of you are coming to my end of your event, it's something that we do is like removing stagnant energy. So you can do a bit of like aerobics or jumping around or physically moving, or get people to just like do something. Like everyone's got a copy, like, when you're at kindergarten and they make, it's like, I'm going to do star jumps, then everyone has to start doing star jumps, something like that. Removing stagnant energy before starting a day is really powerful, especially when you've just done a 12-hour day the day before. Everyone's a bit cooked and tired. So half of them haven't even had their morning coffee and they're feeling a bit something like that's really fun to get them moving and get them motivated. Something else I really like to touch on is like what went really well in the last couple of days. Like, tell me something went well for you yesterday. I think putting a little bit of like a positive spin on things, because we can be very goal oriented, and that's part of business. I need you to do this today. I need you to sell this many products. Let's look at, has that client bought shampoo in the last 3 appointments? They're probably overdue, things like that. So, yeah, putting a bit of a positive spin on what went well, what do you want to achieve today, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
No worries. A really good thing too, end of financial year, get your staff a vision board. This is something you teach your clients. Get them a vision board. Yeah, and like, I loved this because my staff would tell me really trivial things. Like, one of my staff, all she wanted was a Gucci belt, so I bought her one for Christmas one year. And another one, all my staff member wanted to do was go skydiving, so I bought her a skydiving voucher when she had a really, really stellar couple of months. So I was just like, those little things makes your staff really feel like you care about them and really feel like you're listening to their wants and their needs and doing whatever you can to make that happen. So take away those little gold nuggets, write lots of notes. And also, much like coaching circles and things like that, it's really nice to share those goals and to keep people on track.
Yeah, awesome.
Love that. No worries. Raise your hand again if you want to have a chat, but I'm going to mute you back up. Bell, a million notes. Thank you so much. This has been great. I'm going to reward myself with a convertible Mustang to hit 1 million by the end of December. Hell yes. Maya, I'm going to unmute you. Do you know where your sales are up to at the moment? Do you know what your revenue's up to? Yes, you're self-muted, honey. I think it's on the bottom left if you're there. Nah, that's okay. I did this myself. I bought myself a Camaro and it's still my favorite thing on the planet. It's the best thing I've ever bought myself. I bloody love my Camaro. Actually, I've got a dog. I shouldn't say that. He's great, but hell yeah, to a nice car. You got to do it. Got to do it. Good luck. I wish you well. Share with me as you go. Over on cheering Maya on there. And Christy, thanks so much. Very helpful. I have a ton of notes. I'm at home nail tech and really wanting to expand and move into a salon. I love the steps. Amazing. I love this. Christy, do you want to expand on that anymore? Can I unmute you? Where are you? Oh no, where are you, Dels? There you are. I think you're self-muted. Can you unmute? No, where is it? I can't find your name on here. It's like everybody else but you. There we go. Found you. You're in the bottom.
Yay, we worked it out.
Yeah, I know. It was like they move around and I'm like, what is happening? That's amazing. I love this. How good. How long have you been in your home salon for?
8 years.
Time to expand?
Yeah, time to expand.
I love that. That's amazing. How is it all going? Good?
Yeah, I'm just starting to get to the point where I've got to do GST and everything now. So it's growing, which is great.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely exhausted.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at trying to bring people in and trying to work out how to manage that better.
Yeah.
And then just grow from there, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And even with that, trying to, upgrade people, when you've got them there for say their hour or whatever for their acrylic infills and it's like, cool, do you want to add on a pedi next time? It might actually only take you 10 or 15 minutes longer or something into that appointment, but you may be making quite a bit more. Packages, I think, are really good things for nail clients as well. I mean, your clients anyway, get them spending a bit more. Something else is, obviously if you're exhausted, that's awful. If you do put your prices up 10, 20%, you're going to have to now with your GST, but if you're putting your price up 20%, you lose 20% of your clients. You're still making the same money for 20% less hours.
Yeah. Definitely. I've just put the prices up for the 1st of July.
Oh, good. It's a scary thing to do, but your clients love you, obviously. So it's a really, really powerful thing. I know that, when I first started working with a mentor, he wasn't salon specific, and this was back in 2014. The first thing he said to me is your prices have to go up, and it was shitting bricks. And I did it. I put my price up 50%. And honestly, I thought more people would leave. I was actually really disappointed. I wanted to cut down from an 8-hour week and heaps of people stayed. So, don't have that fear of your clients won't pay it. They will. If they want to come and see you, they absolutely will.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. It's good to see your face. Perfect. I'm going to mute you back up again, my love. Karen, thank you so much. Thank you, Karen. You're always at my things. I love it. Chloe, thanks so much. So many positive points, great ideas to implement. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Is there anything else before I close this one off? No. And bless. Thank you so much, everyone. Oh, actually, I want to get a quick photo. Ready? Cheers. Thank you so much, my loves. Shoot me a DM if you want this link and I'll absolutely drop it to you. But thank you so much again. And please share with me your goals and what comes up for you. I'd really love to support you on that journey as well. So have an amazing Monday.
Thank you.
See you later, guys. Take care.